Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Dana Lightning, and I'm here with Aador. We're going to talk about drone chips today and building some really awesome drones. Everybody say hello to Aador.
Hey guys, so let's get some drone work going today because a lot of people don't understand these and they get quite confusing. So let's turn it down a bit today.
Aador is an extremely good War Robots player. He always cranks up lots of damage, lots of kills, and he's very, very knowledgeable about these drones. So I thought he would be a great person to have help me make a video on these things today. So, all right. So what shall we talk about first, Aador?
So let's go over the how the drones slots work. Like we know there are so many different slots like AC, triangles, diamond, square, all those. So let's break it down a bit, starting with the triangles. Triangle is a chip slot which is mainly based on damage. So whenever you're looking at a drone, you need multiple triangles to make that particular chip effective. So here are the triangle slots. You see there are a bunch of different chips like radiant intensifier, inhibited intensifier. So we'll go over these in a little while, how to make better combinations and what chips are actually worth using over others. Then let's move on to some circle chips now.
Oh,
So these are the circle chips. Circles are the one which will either affect your drone weapon or will affect your robot's weapons. So these are the primary chips which most of the top players use, and they allow you to have suppression, freezing, and lockdown effects on any of your weapons you're equipped on the robot, regardless of them having the built-in effect or not. There are certain weapons which are really good at accumulating these effects. For example, Coronas, Wasp, Pulsars, cryogenic weapons, and stuff which is not so good are like Punishers, Flamethrowers, which don't have a built-in effect by themselves. So let's move on to the next one.
go.
Moving on to the squares. Squares are the one which are gonna make your robot more beefy, give it more toughness. These are probably one of the most confusing drones we've got, because most of them are actually quite useless. But if you just find the sweet spot with these, like you see Revitalizing Defender, Inhibited Defender, you can be nearly invincible once you use your active module. Like the Revitalizing Defender, one of the best chips in the game, it'll give you 50 defense points at tier 4, I think. And whenever you use either the healing or advanced healing, you're gonna be able to be super tanky for 10 seconds. And you should be looking for at least 3 squares on one drone, or maybe minimum 2 actually, to make these chips really worth using. Let's move on to the next one now. Moving on to the diamonds, the ones which will save your robot and maybe save your last stand from kicking. Diamonds are the ones which are going to be healing your drone. So chips like the phasing renovator, the in trouble renovator, these are probably the easiest to understand because most of these chips are useful. Phasing renovator will give you a good bit of healing, like 20% healing, 15% healing, 20% healing, whenever you come out of phase shift. Whereas reconstructive renovator or reconstructive repairers, both these chips will give you or enhance your regular healing whenever you heal a certain amount of health. On the other side, emergency renovator and the emergency repairer will save you from dying when you take some serious damage. So these are the ones which will be letting you live longer and stay in the bot if you are tanky or taking some serious damage. Now, let's move on to the next one. So here we go. Last and final, the arms controller chips. These are the chips which let your drone shoot. Not every drone has a shooting chip, but some of them like Wasp, the good guy drone does have them. And these are really interesting, but at the same time really restricted, because on the robots like Loki, Nightingale, when you're not doing the shooting work a lot, you can pair these with a couple acid sprayers, which are a circle chip, and deal corrosion damage and the drone damage at the same time. And capture beacons with Loki, and be annoying to the enemy with that drone. This is the job of this particular drone type. Let's move to the next category.
Real quick, lately I've actually been removing these chips off my drones that do shoot just because they take up a lot of energy and they don't always seem to do that much. I mean, certain robots, it's really awesome to have a drone that fires, but on a lot of robots, I'd rather have my energy for a different type of chip. So, all right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next part of the video.
The second part is going to be best types of drones. We all have a bunch of drones, we all buy drones, win drones. But how to choose the correct drone? That's the main issue most people have. So as you see, me and Danny put up some drones, and the one thing which is common in all of them is there are multiples of the same chip type. They're not random, like they don't have 2 squares, 3 squares, and then 1 triangle. You need a certain amount of chips, or try to stack the same chips, so you can benefit the most from the same drone. Like, maybe the circles are not the best, but stacking like triangles and circles or squares will really pump up your drone game. So this is how you choose the drones. Don't make random ones. Don't take the one which has one of each slot. Try to take the ones which has multiples of the same. Moving on to the next category.
Okay, guys, so we set up one of these drones here. So Aador, we're going to go ahead and open up the very first chip, which is the arms chip. All right, this is the chip that shoots at other people. And, all right, Aador, go for it.
So we have a purple arms controller. Whenever you have extra battery or extra circle, try to sneak one of these in. And people will be like, why a rifle rocket shooter in particular? This was the one which was made for the Wasp, firstly. And secondly, we have extra battery. We can always slap one of these in when it's not harming us. Let's move to the next chip we have now. Moving on to the diamonds, we have 2 of the recurrent reconstructive renovators. These are the special healing diamond slots, which let you enhance your active module or regular healing. What this does is, if you heal 40,000 durability over 5 seconds, either it's by active module, by your ally, or triggering another drone chip, this is going to enhance that particular healing by 30%. Yes, 30%. And if we have 2 of them, which is 60% drones, this is like a free advanced healing, better version of advanced healing right here. Try to stack these with advanced healing, regular healing on tanky bots to get the maximum potential out of your robot. Now, let's move to the next one.
These are definitely some amazing chips right here, guys. Okay, so we went over our arms chip and we went over the first 2 diamond chips that we have set up. So now we're going to open the next 2 diamond chips, which are both the same. And we have the phasing renovators installed right here. All right, so Aador, go ahead and talk about these ones.
So, phase shift. The one module which gets most people angry and most annoying to make most robots' ability completely worthless. How to make it more annoying? Let's slap some healing together. This is the drone chip, which will give you 15% extra durability as soon as you come out of phase shift. And earlier you saw we have the reconstructive renovators, which means 30% from these 2 chips and 60% from those 2 chips. You're going to be healing 90% of your health back if you can. So you're going to be stacked up after a phase shift. And yeah, making phase shift more annoying, not the best idea, but we did it. Don't abuse it. Let's move to the next one now.
All right, if you guys use phase shift on your bots, this is definitely a chip you guys should look at. Awesome chip overall, everybody. Okay, so we've looked at the arms chips. We've got, we went over the diamond chips. Now we're going to go ahead and check out the square chip that we have installed, which is the Reoccurrent Forewarning Defender. These are some really awesome chips. So, okay, Aador, go ahead and take it from here.
So this is a really easy to get chip. And the reason why we chose this particular one is, you see, Whenever you fall down 50% health, you will get additional 35% defense points for 10 seconds, and it will keep going because it has a 15-second cooldown. So every 15 seconds, if you're under 50% health, you will be getting this extra defense. So this will help you when you're just about to reach your active module, or it's just about to like recharge and you're waiting, like, don't trigger my last stand, just help me for a couple seconds. This is gonna save your last stand and let you use your active module again. So I think we're covered with this drone. Let's move to the next one now.
So yep, if you're running any type of healing on your robot, these things are amazing right here. All right, and then we finally have 2 circle chips with batteries installed. So we're going to go ahead and talk about why we have the battery chips installed. And this one's actually pretty simple. I think most people already understand this, but all right, Aador, go for it.
So drones can only have a maximum of 32 batteries. And we know with 6 chips we are using, we need 48. So these 2 gold batteries are giving us the extra juice, the extra power to let our drone become even stronger and more OP. This is like adding a little bit more touch to your drone so you can slap the last 1 or 2 chips which you weren't able to before.
Yeah, so these guys don't take any energy to use, but they do add extra energy so you can add more chips to your drones. Very cool chips, honestly. Anything else to add about these ones, Aador?
So this will be a great drone for something like a tanky robot, because we have the percentages going. So something which has a sheer amount of health, like the Invader, the Fenrir, the Falcon. These are going to be benefiting those robots the most, because they will be healing 90% of their health if they use a phase shift. And it is better than advanced healing, because it can get you out of lockdown suppression effects, the phase shift, where advanced healing cannot do that for you.
Okay, so let's move on to the next drone. This one's got a load of defense points, making your robot crazy hard to kill. So if you have something that's squishy, this is probably going to be a really big benefit. So first thing we did is we added 2 of the battery chips onto here. We just went over those, so we don't really need to go over that again, but that allows us to add some extra chips onto this drone. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and look at the square chips that we chose, and this is an amazing drone. It's got pretty much nothing but the 2 circles that we need to add extra chips and a whole bunch of squares. So every square is filled with revitalizing defenders. All right, so these things are some amazing defense point chips. It's going to make it impossible for the enemies to tear you down with these things. So, Aador, go ahead and give us your opinion on these chips, or whatever you want to call it.
So this is the best defense chip you can get till date. The Revitalizing Defender. 10 seconds of extra defense whenever you use your repair unit or advanced repair unit, which are the healing active modules. And 35 defense points is somewhere around the 17.6, 17.7% resistance. We have 6 of them, so we're gonna be like having leech type resistance for 10 seconds. If you have foolhardy quartermaster going and all those extra module things, you will be quite an invincible thing with something like a shell. Is your shell dying too fast these days? Make a drone similar to this, put the healing on it, and jump in between 4 guys. You're not going to take any damage for 10 seconds because of these defense chips. And whatever you're taking, the healing module is going to heal you back up.
If you don't happen to have a drone that has this many squares, all right, you can still stack 2 or 3 of these together, and even that is a really big help. All right, I mean, of course, the more is the better, but these will really help keep your robots alive a lot. So if you can run some of these, definitely go for it. These are some of my favorite chips for these square slots. Okay, so now we've got this nice nebula set up with a bunch of triangle slots. The triangle slots are pretty nice. We got 2 battery chips, so I don't think we need to go over the batteries again. And then we got a suppressor chip as well. So let's check out the triangle slots that we have installed, which are the revitalizing intensifiers. All right, these are very nice chips. And Aador, you've got the floor.
So, Revitalizing Intensifier. The enemy brother of Revitalizing Defender, of course. Hip repair unit or advanced repair unit. Instead of defense points, this one is going to give you 20% additional damage for 7 seconds. Having 5 of them in his drone is like 100%, just doubling your damage for 7 seconds. You can annihilate people with pretty much any weapon you have because you're dealing double damage. Most of the top players use these on Hawks and anything which has a lot of firepower, like a Leech, Typhon, anything which can be super strong in a short time. This is the chip you're looking for a damage chip. Now, this is a premium chip because it only comes purple and above, and you cannot win them anywhere. You have to buy them for 3,000 gold. So an alternative, a little weaker, is going to be the modulative intensifier chip. So the modulative...
Whoops. Well, how about this? I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. All right, so now we've pulled up the modulative intensifier chips. Generally, these are what I use on my personal account because I don't actually have any of the other chips, so I use these ones instead. All right, so Aador, let's go ahead and hear why these are super awesome.
So this is just a watered down version of the revitalizing intensifier. Now don't get me wrong, this can be better at certain times. So this gives you 5% less damage, but this is from gray all the way to purple. So instead of spending 3,000 gold on buying a revitalizing, you can get this one for 150 gold and get a blue one, which is way cheaper for someone who's starting with drones. Now, upside with this, it works with any module, so it is not restricted to healing and advanced healing. But the downside is you get some less damage. But these are more available to everyone, so I guess this is overall useful for players who are new to the game and like to use modules other than the healings.
Now, I don't think I would use this one with a phase shift because I'm pretty sure this one starts as soon as you activate your ability, and the majority of phase shift you cannot fire when this one is installed.
Yeah, true, because phase shift is one of those modules you don't want to have any of the defense or offense chips because it's just going to negate the effect.
Yes. All right, anything else to add about this before we move on to the next part?
So just remember, whenever you're using these drones, at least have 3 triangles so they can stack up together. Or if you have two, try to get the purple ones because you want a good bit, a good punch. One strip is not going to do the thing.
And we have decided to add a suppressor. We didn't have a purple or gold suppressor, so we've added a blue one on this account. So these are really nice chips where it will add suppression to your weapons. Like he was saying earlier, some weapons work really good with these, others not so much. So Aador, go ahead.
So suppressor. Most of you will be wondering, why suppressor? You could have found a drone with another triangle and put another damage chip. The reason is you need survivability. If you screw up, this chip is going to save you by suppressing the enemy, so he deals less damage and you can get in cover. One of the most annoying chips as well, because people hate being suppressed every 2 seconds.
I mean, 75% suppression, that's great. That means you're going to take 75% less damage from the enemy that you have suppressed. Okay, so now we're going to show you a little bit about a glider drone. So Aador, tell us why we chose these particular chips on this drone.
So this is a hybrid drone with healing and defense going at the same time. You want to be tanky and heal at the same time. So you want to be tanky and heal at the same time. This drone will allow you to do that. 3 gold revitalizing defenders and 1 purple is equivalent to 67% resistance nearly. And those 2 percentage-based, remember percentage-based renovators is what we have on the diamond slots. Whenever you use any healing module and you have 40,000 health, you're gonna get 60% of your durability back, which is gonna be nuts when you're fighting like someone which has crap ton of damage, like Overdrive Hawk on the ground. Two heavies, two lights hitting you, and you're just taking all to your face, nothing's happening to you. This is a drone which will allow you to do that. Then we have the next one, similar setup with this, which is the Wasp.
All right, we got the Wasp.
The Wasp is triangles and diamonds, similar to the Glider, but instead this is attack and healing. We have the Reconstructed Repairer this time, which is gonna give you 100,000 health whenever you're using healing and advanced healing. And the Revitalizing Intensifier again, which is gonna give you 60% extra damage for 7 seconds when you use those healing modules. So this is the one which is gonna be healing you and giving you the funds to kill your enemy at the same time. These are the hybrid drones we have, which you can mix up with pretty much any robots, because anything can use extra defense or offense.
Now, this drone only had one battery slot, so we weren't able to fill up as many chips on this one. We were able to get this one up to 40 energy, but this would still be a really cool setup. Now, you know, most of you guys might not be using the gold chips. You may be using blue and some purple, so you would have been able to fit a few more chips onto this one, but this is really just to give you guys a good idea of, you know, what chips to use, what they're good for, and some stuff like that. All right, so finally we've set up a nebula drone that's got lockdown, freeze, and suppression. So with the circle chips, we did add one battery to get a few more, you know, to get a little extra energy to add an extra chip. First off, we're going to check out the lockdowner chip. So Aador, go for it.
So this is one of the most obvious setups you will always see on the battlefield. One guy camping on the very back with pulsars, or maybe someone in your face just hammering into you with these effects. These chips are responsible for it. Even after they've been nerfed, like I think twice, they nerf you so fast that you will be locked down every few seconds if you have a gold one. And we have two of these on this, so you don't have to care about anything. Like, as I've said in the past, certain weapons are really good with drone effects, but if you stack two gold of the same kind, you can use whatever you want, whichever weapon you have, and it's going to be insanely fast.
So we've installed that drone with two of the lockdowners and two of the suppressor chips. Suppressors are great, guys. Each one of these does minus 75% damage incoming to you, so we love to have some suppression going on. All right, Aador, go for it.
So, you don't want to just lock down the enemy and take all the damage to your face, yeah? These are the chips which are going to let you stand there, let him shoot in your face, and do not take any damage because he is 75% suppressed. These are still most popular chips, and again as lockdowners. Gold ones, two of them. Instant suppression is pretty much anything. And if the enemy don't have anti-control, you're gonna be a nightmare for him, really a nightmare.
So the more of these you have installed, the faster they kick in, okay? You're still gonna get the 75%, even if you had like 200 installed, you would still get 75% suppression, but they would just accumulate and kick in much, much faster. All right, so we also got one more effect chip installed, and we're gonna go look at that right now. And we've also decided to add one freezer chip to this as well. All right, so go ahead, Aador.
So this is for the extra oof sometimes, like what if your enemy has anti-control? Well, the freezer will allow you, this is the purple one, so not so fast, but the freezer will allow you to slow him down so you can run away. Like if he has anti-control, anti-control saves you from suppression, saves you from lockdown, but nothing saves you from being frozen. And this is gonna slow him down so you can get in cover, get his anti-control out, and then suppress him again with the other chips.
And one thing really nice, if you're already using something like the cryogenic weapons, this will make them freeze people even faster. So this is a great chip with or without the cryogenic weapons, but these will play a major part in, really helping your weapons tear up some enemies, guys. So finding a drone that has a lot of circles is very, very, very beneficial. Very cool setups to help your weapons do more damage. So now we're going to talk about building some budget drones. This is for a lot of you guys who can't get some of the higher end chips or don't have them currently.
Moving on to some budget builds. You guys must be like, dudes, you're showing such expensive stuff. We don't have the gold for it. We got you covered. Budget drones will be the ones which are going to be costing way less than any of these. So, what are the budget chips? Revitalizing Defender is available at tier 2, which is 150 gold. Other will be, which is a square chip, so defense. Revitalizing Intensifier is a purple, whereas the modulator intensifier is gray, blue, and purple. You can win these from the operations every season, 2 of them for free, blue ones, or buy them for 150 or 75 gold. Similar thing for the diamonds. Most of the diamonds are available at like blue and above, or even gray and above. Diamonds are the easiest to use because everything together works mostly. Circles, which have the problem because people who are older or started the drones earlier when they first came out, you were able to get the blue suppressors as we show you before that we had a blue suppressor on one of the drones. You cannot get the blue effect chips anymore. So circles are still going to be quite expensive because you need the 3,000 gold for it. And speaking of the last one, which is the arms controller, you don't really need to buy those. If you can get one for free from special delivery, that's always good, but 5,000 gold for that chip is not worth your gold at all. Like, upgrade something else, not the thing you want to go for. And you can make some pretty awesome combination with just the blue chips as well. Not as awesome with gold, but they'll hold you on the champions pretty well.
I think for your average player looking for drones that have squares and diamonds are very beneficial. Healing and damage resistance chips will really work wonders on keeping your robots alive for a long time. And if you happen to have something with a bunch of circles and you got some of those weapon effect chips, they come in very, very handy. So those are the 3 main things. The ones that do the extra damage are great as well. All right, for the average person, like the modulative intensifiers, when you activate a module, you're going to do a bunch of extra damage. Those are the best chips for your average Joe for the triangles, or the diamond chips, I would say. But anything that does healing or defense points, awesome. All right, I love that stuff. All right, anything else to add? What else do we got?
Last thing to add in the budget. Comparing these, the blue budget build will cost you somewhere between 750 to 1500 gold, whereas the gold one will cost you somewhere between 35 to 40,000 gold.
Not fun. Not fun. Pixonic, please lower the prices on these things a little bit. We would definitely appreciate that.
This is the one most frequently asked questions these days. What to do with the useless chips like anti-acid, defense mitigator, acid sprayers? No one wants those chips, but the game keeps giving you those, isn't it?
Sure
Here's
does.
my trick, what I do. This is my trick. Luck dependent, but you can always have a chance if you have extra resources. In this, me and Danny put together an acid sprayer, an anti-acid, a control resistor, and 2 of the defense mitigator. All probably the most worthless chips in the game. Let's make them combine and see what we get.
All right. Are you ready for me to hit that button?
Yes.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go ahead. Let's see what we get. Oh, we got a gold defense mitigator out of those.
Yeah, so that's a bad one. That's not a good one, but you see, that's a random chance. I got a lockdowner. Gold lockdowner before, just by combining the exact same chips. So sometimes you will get unlucky, as we did, because the game wanted us to look bad on the video. But you might get lucky as well.
Yeah, sometimes when you combine some random chips, you're going to get something awesome. Sometimes you might get something you don't want. But if you got a lot of chips sitting around and you're like, hey, I'm never going to use these, why not put them in there and combine chips? I mean, you can combine 15, all right? 15 tier 1 chips will turn into a blue chip, all right? If you do 10 of the blue chips, it's going to turn into a purple chip. And if you do 5 of the blue chips, that's going to turn into a gold chip. So that's a good way to get rid of some chips you don't want. And you might get something really awesome out of there, honestly. All right. Anything else, Aador?
I think we're done with the drones.
Alrighty.
So, quite a big class.
All right, guys, I think that pretty much wraps this one up. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. We'll try and get back to you and answer some of those. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully you guys understand how to make some really nice drones now that are going to be very beneficial. Just remember, even if you only have the gray chips or the blue chips or the pink chips, it doesn't really matter. Put the best ones you have together and do the best with what you got. Sometimes we just have to work with what we have. All right. So, Aador, anything else to add before we go ahead and end this one?
I hope you guys learned how to use the drones, because yes, this is one of the most confusing but one of the most beneficial things to invest in the game. And if you did, please make sure to smash the like button and give it a subscribe.
All right, Aador, thank you so much for being on this video. This has been very helpful to me and hopefully to other people as well. Definitely appreciate this. So yeah, like you said, please hit that like, subscribe, and if you want to get real crazy, hit the little bell and set those notifications to all. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, Lightning and Aador out. See you guys later. Bye.